Hi, my name is Ben Hogan, and this is a presentation about the offshore outsourcing of IT jobs in America. As globalization expansion results in increasing international trade, outsourcing internal business processes is at an all-time high. Although outsourcing was once synonymous with manufacturing jobs, the proliferation of technology in foreign countries has introduced a new market for offshore outsourcing in the form of information technology. Outsourcing software development has evolved to the point where almost every large business will have to outsource some degree of its technical domain to maintain a competitive advantage. The purpose of this presentation is to explore outsourcing of information services and software development. To begin, we'll provide information on why companies decide to outsource. What are the benefits? Then we will cover the ethical implications of outsourcing. Who benefits and at what cost? For example, what are the consequences of outsourcing on American jobs? Finally, we'll cover some key examples of outsourcing in the United States. It is not difficult to understand why companies decide to outsource. The idea can be summarized simply by what is known as the project management triangle. This construct states that a project's success depends on three factors: cost, quality, and time. I'll explain how outsourcing helps achieve all three. According to an article in the New York Times, the average salary of IT professionals in India is as low as 20% of that of their American counterparts. Not only does that mean lower cost of labor for the company, but these savings will also translate to lower prices to consumers, offering a competitive edge over other companies. The second reason that companies outsource is to acquire expertise in a specific domain. This can be illustrated by an example. If a company's core job functionality is manufacturing wire and cable, it is likely that it will hire plant workers who operate machinery that produces wire and cable. In today's markets, however, companies need a presence on the internet. Rather than hiring an internal team of employees to develop an e-commerce website to sell the company's product online, it would be far more advantageous to outsource this work to a foreign team that already has the proper training and experience of building an e-commerce platform. This would also result in quicker turnaround time as well. This is especially true if the team is no longer needed once the website has been implemented. Although outsourcing clearly benefits company stakeholders, what does it mean for American workers? This has been the topic for much debate. The contention stems from the belief that if jobs are being outsourced to foreign countries, it must mean U.S. job opportunities are being lost. This can seem unfair to those who think that companies are more concerned with making money than providing jobs to their fellow citizens. Although this seems like a fair claim, there's evidence that shows that outsourcing has no impact on American jobs. According to The Politics and Economics of Offshore Outsourcing by Gregory Mankiw, increased employment in the overseas affiliates of U.S. multinationals is associated with more employment in the U.S. parent rather than less, and also that income rises by about 12 to 14 cents for every dollar of outsourcing. It goes on to say that the mass layoff statistics program of the Bureau of Labor Statistics show that outsourced jobs only account for 1.6% of all mass layoffs recorded during the time of that report. Another finding in the Bureau of Economic Analysis shows trends in which insourcing rises at the same rate as outsourcing, which means that as many jobs are created by foreign countries in the U.S. as jobs being outsourced to them. Although these studies show that outsourcing is not creating problems for Americans by cutting jobs, it may be causing other problems. As more tech jobs are being outsourced to countries such as India for lower cost of labor, it is becoming increasingly difficult for U.S. workers to find the same level of pay for these jobs. Even with all the debate surrounding outsourcing, there are many U.S.-based tech giants that employ this as a key business strategy. A prime example is IBM. According to a New York Times article, IBM is unusual because it employs more people in a single foreign country than it does at home, and the company's employment in India has nearly doubled since 2007. Microsoft signed a 3-year deal in 2010 with Infosys Technologies, also based in India, that covered 450 locations across 104 countries. In 2013, IKEA announces an outsourcing project with Wincor Nixdorf. This company was responsible for the installation of 12,000 point-of-sale systems in over 300 IKEA stores worldwide. General Electric employed over 12,000 people in India by 2005. Cisco invested over $150 million in its technology development enterprise in India. The list goes on and on. According to an article in Information Week, 49% of U.S. technology companies with an annual revenue of more than $100 million outsource outside of the country. In conclusion, outsourcing has grown rapidly in technology companies in the 21st century due to the low cost of labor, coupled with expertise in the technology domain offered by offshore countries like India and China, among many others. There is much debate around ethical considerations of outsourcing, although studies show that there is no significant impact on the U.S. economy. Finally, it is shown that nearly half of all tech giants practice outsourcing.